Good evening, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Give me 1 second here. We are doing some audio.
Yes, thank you for your patience while you're waiting. We're just organized a few things here with our audio and visual, but welcome to Manifest Your Dream Home Masterclass. I think this is going to be one of my favorite trainings ever. This is absolutely a culmination of two of my biggest passions coming together. So my love and passion for interior design and my love and passion for how to manifest your dream life. So we're both of our passion, I guess, Garrett's do. Right?
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for joining us. We're really, really excited about this, and we're excited to share with you everything that we've done to manifest our dream homes. It's not just this one that we currently live in, but we've done it a couple of times now. So
yes, we have most definitely, and you're going to learn all that today. We are just going to let kind of people join us here in the next 2 or 3 minutes. If you do join us, give us a comment in the comment box there. We see someone's on right now with us. Because we're using a Restream software, you may have to allow it to give permission to show who you are in our comments. So we see a Facebook user as on our software to tell us who's there. So if you want to say hi, if you want to tell us where you're from and maybe what your name is, who's there, that would be all great.
Yeah, I love knowing who's actually joining us. So I've been chatting with several of you in the Facebook group already on iMessage and on text. So it's been nice to kind of get to know you a little bit before our training today. And that's definitely the approach that we like to use. So please just relax, say hi, ask any questions as they come up. We want this to be a very interactive and fun night for you. Hey, Jess, we want you to really realize that reaching these big goals is not something that's scary. It's something that's super fun and super easy once you know how to do it. So just have a really nice, fun, light evening. Pour yourself a cup of tea or a glass of wine, get a nappy, and just sit down and really relax and absorb the information that we're going to share with you over the next hour and a half, 2 hours. Set some time aside to make some notes, and we've got some questions throughout the training today that's going to help you apply the knowledge that we're teaching you so that you can really get into this manifestation process quickly and see some results very, very fast.
Definitely. And I was going to say something and forgot. Oh, it's absolutely packed full of information. So this is our this is an in-depth workshop. This is not only just sitting here and listening, although you can do that, but it's meant to be interactive. It's meant for you guys to apply the information right away and to recognize how things can shift so quickly when you apply laws to your life. So make sure that you stick with us till the end of this thing. It's going to be packed. It's going to be full. We've designated about an hour and a half.
Yeah, we'll see how everybody's
maybe
doing.
Even longer than that. So stick around. If there's any questions, just pop them into the comment section. There will be a chance for us for all of you to ask questions at the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
But pop them in there or hold on to them to the end.
Mm-hmm. And normally, for those people who have joined us, are you recording?
Not yet.
Okay. Normally, for those people who have joined us in other live workshops, we generally do these over the course of a week. And we decided to really tighten this one up and put everything that we normally put into that whole week training into a sort of a condensed mini workshop for this Manifest Your Dream Home. So some of the content is brand new, but it's definitely all geared towards how you can do exactly what we did and what thousands of other people have done to manifest their dream life and their dream home quickly too.
Yeah, so have fun with it today. Enjoy it. We're gonna make it as interesting and as fun as we can. So maybe we'll just get started. What do you say?
The other thing that's new about today's training is we've prepared a PowerPoint presentation for you too. So if there's a particular slide that is really of interest to you, you can take a screenshot of it, and you can come back and you can, refer to that, and you can kind of take some of the key points and do it as homework. We'll also keep this training up live for a couple of days in this group. So if you have to run and you can't catch the whole thing, or you've got people that you want to share this training with, we'll come on again later and do a post and tell you where you can find it easily.
Absolutely.
Easily in the feed. So
Okay, so we're just gonna, and then bear with us too. We could have some slight technical things that we'll have to deal with, but we're going to do our best to keep us in line. So welcome to Manifest Your Dream Home. This is how to consciously create your dream home.
yeah, and just I put dream home here, but really this is if you have a house already and you want to do a renovation, even on just a part of your house. Maybe you just want a kitchen of your dreams, or you want an ensuite of your dreams, or to do the landscaping or whatever it is. This isn't necessarily to move from where you are into, your fantasy home. It can be a vacation property. It can be anything, any kind of house or home or property that you're looking to create that you absolutely love.
So here we go. So let us ask you a question, right? How would you like to really live your best life, with the people you love, manifest your dream home by simply changing your thoughts and behaviors?
And I want, just on this point, I think a common misconception that people make is, of course, I'd love to have my dream home, but I chose to, I focus on the people in my house more than I do my home, or my home's not really that important. What's important to me is more, the way I feel and that kind of thing. And so this training is really about how you can have both, how you can have the best life with the people you love in the home that you love. So it's a mindset about not feeling like you have to exchange or trade one for the other.
Absolutely. Perfect. Well, guess what?
What?
You're in the right place.
I knew it.
We really had fun making this slideshow. You're in the right place. So we just want to share with you guys who this is really for, because what we've recognized in our work that we've been doing is that, there's a specific person that, will be attracted to something like this. Mm-hmm. And so this is what we think. If you're, if you want to avoid spending, years settling for what you have now, if you want to see quantum leaps in your results, and quantum leaps are these growths from, we're all used to growing about 5-10%, but when you're growing, 100, 200, 400, 500%, those are those quantum leaps that are possible with understanding how to manifest. Mm-hmm. This is for you if you want to feel amazing in your home and love where you live, right? It's for you who want to build a legacy for your family for generations to enjoy. And this was our big, strong point when we were manifesting, right? Mm-hmm. If you want to work from home, run a home-based business, and love where you work. This is exactly why we are where we are now. And if you want to have an investment for your future, right? It's for you if you believe you can have a close connected relationship, and your dream. And your dream home without being a millionaire.
Yeah, so this is another really,
Yes.
This is my favorite part about this particular slide. I have to just, I won't elaborate into the stories because we're going to talk about them in more detail later, but just to kind of get everybody to kind of relax a little bit and think, oh gosh, like I don't have millions of dollars for my dream home. Like, should I even be here? Absolutely, you should be here. We don't have millions of dollars either, and we sure didn't have millions of dollars when we manifested our dream home at the time years ago, right? So stick with us. You're going to learn a lot of things that are different than what you possibly believe right now is possible for you. You're going to learn that it doesn't take $1 million or 2 million or 10 million to have the home that you truly love.
That was the one about that slide that we liked the most, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm just accidentally went by that first one quickly. So knowing who it's for,
Yeah.
it's also important to know who this is not for.
You don't have to leave right now, but
Yes, definitely stick around with us. But who it's not for, if a lot of people are stuck grinding it out, hoping that one day you'll save enough money to find your dream home, right? For those of you, if you love watching the years go by and feel hopeless that this is really it for you, those that think that this is all that life offers you is what you have now, and there's no opportunity for a dream house. This is not for those, if you like wasting your time reading book after book, but still not seeing any traction, right? If you like seeing your friends and colleagues getting ahead, living the dream while you struggle each month, paycheck to paycheck. I think you're getting the gist how, that's how obvious some of that stuff is. So, but this is for those people that really want to make a change in their life, right? And go after that dream, right? So why are we doing this? Right? We're looking for like-minded individuals, right, that want to turn their dreams into a reality. So this is about those of you that, have big ideas, big desires, you're really looking to make those things a reality. We're looking for those that want to live a life of freedom, removed from the shackles of mediocrity and the mundane. So it was one of the things that, really resonates with me is I think that we're here to live an abundant life, right? Full of everything. So mediocrity and mundane is not a place that I want to stay in. So, for those of who want to feel energized, refreshed, and know that you're living your life on purpose, right? Having a meaningful connection with your partner, family, friends, right? And building your dream home and your dream life. And like Tara said, it's not about moving to a dream home. It's about building it. You can have a dream home in any home that you desire.
Yeah, I just want to say something here. So this last point for me is exactly the important factor that I brought into my design business right from the beginning. I didn't want to just create beautiful homes for people. My philosophy and my design style and my interaction with my clients was and is always that the dream home isn't just about the home at the very, very end. This is a place that you have to love. It's a process that you have to love as well. It's important to enjoy the journey in the creation of your dream home. And I'm not just talking about when you get your plans and you start the construction and you're picking your materials. I'm talking about the creation of your dream home right from where you are right now. This is a very, very fun and exciting start to creating a dream home for real. So it actually does start today. It starts the second that you decide that this is something that you really want. And so every time we're talking about dream home, I just want it to be kind of understood that includes the feeling. The feeling, we're making the assumption that the dream home includes the feeling of how you are in your home and how you spend your time in your home with your loved ones.
Absolutely. And we're doing this because ultimately it's really fun.
I want to show you that it can be fun.
Absolutely. So we don't know if this is you yet. We'll see. I kind of think it is.
Who thinks it's them? Say me.
Absolutely. So in the next hour and a half, we're going to show you a bunch of stuff. Okay. We're going to show you 3 main topics that we're going to stick to. The first is the simple way to create. So this is using your thinking and feeling to attract the life you truly want to live. Okay, the second thing we're going to do is we're going to share with you what most people don't realize about your attitude and beliefs. Right? And where you place your attention is where you place your energy. And it talks about faith. Right? And then this little known secret that initiates the manifestation process. And at the end, we got a bonus surprise workshop. It's an interactive, fun little tool. We came across it in some of the books we were reading, so we really want to share that with you.
Yeah,
right?
Actually, I need to just have a behind the scenes, kind of on the screen moment. Mom, can you please go up to Gabriella's room and on her desk bring me down the white thing that I gave her for her birthday? Yes. Thank you.
It's awesome. As you can tell, we have fun doing this.
It's a family affair.
Total family affair. But and that's something that we should share. You know, that was our dream, and our dream life was to always do everything, you know, with family involved and in our home. And so often this is we got dog running around, kids running around, playing guns, doing things, and that's what we want in our lives. So it's part of our lives, and that's what we'll attract. So now here's why you need to know what we know. Okay, just a few years ago, we were pretty much burnt out entrepreneurs. If you were to look at us, we were unhappily married, right? And living a life that we were always told that we should love. You know, we'd accomplished things in our lives and we'd done things in our lives that, you know, from the outside looking in are, wow, that's amazing. But still having this feeling that, you know, something was missing, right? So we were there. You know, and after there might have been some destructive attempts at solutions to turning the life around and doing different things, right? We came across a proven system that has allowed us now to create the life we share together, the successes we have, the businesses we have, and allowing us to get through life in some tough times, you know, in relatively, you know, easy ways, right? We were living in smaller condos, small houses, renting places that we could quote unquote afford, right? And starting all over at life. However, we had this feeling that we wanted to experience in life, right? Of fulfillment and abundance, health, wealth, and happiness. Like we always knew that was to be the biggest part of our lives. So we started envisioning, I mean, this one comment is the house that I moved into with my kids before Tara and her kids moved in, which was, I always wanted an ocean view. But I was in absolutely no financial position from where I thought to be in a house with an ocean view. And it was the most amazing creation. Now I understand that. Of what came in my life. And the vision matched these feelings of how I wanted to feel, right? And so everything started to change in my life. As that house, you know, I moved into that house, things started to change, you know.
And I think that this last point too, what that really means is that for me, I didn't really have a clear idea of the vision so much of what the house needed to look like, but I really knew what it needed to feel like, right? I had feelings of, you know, kids running around in the kitchen in bare feet and music playing and cooking dinner and laughing and dancing and friends over and having a glass of wine. And so I think Garrett manifested more visually, and I started my process definitely more emotionally.
Absolutely. And remember that, because we'll touch on that later in the workshop, is that
my way's the right way. Just kidding.
Totally. Both are important in the manifestation process. You can't have the feeling without the thought, but you can have the thought without the feeling.
Very well said, babe.
We'll touch on that more. Now we are certified Thinking the Results consultants. We were mentored, trained, and studied with Bob Proctor, world famous coach. The guy, he's the white-haired guy in the movie The Secret, and he was who started our journey down this understanding of what success was, and then ultimately starting to understand how the laws of the universe relate to creating your dream life. So he was our mentor and the one who turned us around in all of this. So that's why you should be here today. So just to be clear, there is nothing for sale today. Now, here's where we start asking you guys some questions. Are you guys doing things the hard way? Okay, so we're going to touch a little bit on the hard way, and then we're going to teach you a little bit more about the good way. So if you're doing things the hard way, you've accepted the fact that you're going to stay exactly where you are.
Yeah, like who's there? Who's kind of in their 40s, maybe early 50s, or heading close to 50, and you've kind of just said, yep, I've been working for how many years? 30 30 years, full time, have your businesses going, or you've got, your positions in your companies and you're making a really good salary and you're just kind of like, here's where I am, here's what I make, so here's what that income affords. So I'm exactly where I'm always going to be. How many people are there? Just give a little wave or a me.
I like the me's.
Yeah, the me's help.
So you think that in order to live in your dream home, you have to have that $1 million, you have to be rich, you have to, be this like small percentage of people that, are earning millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Or that you have to have a whole bunch saved up already.
Yeah, or you can't do it until you have the money. Remember these points. You think you can, you can have either the lovely family life or a dream home, but you can't have both. In other words, you got to work so hard to afford the dream house that the family life is kind of sacrificed.
Yeah, or the process of building the dream house is going to ruin your relationship. A lot of people think that, and that's because it's, if it's not done properly, it's a very, very stressful, tedious, long-term thing, right? So that having that belief or hearing those stories, they sit with you. And so you could have a fear of even venturing down this path just based on somebody else's experience or maybe an experience you had in the past.
Absolutely. Are you doing the hard, if you're doing the things the hard way, right? And this is interesting too, because a lot of people think that, if I'm going to live in my dream home, it means I have to go out and buy and own my dream home, right? The realization is it doesn't matter, how you are there. You could rent it. Someone could give it to you. You could win it in the lottery. You could buy a foreclosure. Like all these things are possible. You actually, when you manifest properly, little secret, you actually don't get to know how it's going to come about.
So this point is really to kind of say, just let your mind open up to different possibilities. That might be a new way of thinking about this process for you.
So you have to be open-minded, right? Like you have to be open-minded about this stuff. This is things that, a lot of people don't know about. So it's going to test and, challenge some beliefs you have. So stay open-minded. And like Tara was saying, you have to have all the money before you decide to start looking and planning for your home. So it's like, okay, I've finally got the money. Now I can look and plan to, build, buy, renovate my dream home. So that's doing things the hard way. Okay? It doesn't have to be that way.
Yay!
Woo! So now let us
thank
share
God.
with you the easy
Tell
way.
Tell me the easier way.
Yeah, I want the easy way too.
That's stressful.
What is it? If you ever want to figure out an easy way to do something, ask a lazy person. Okay, let's go with that. So we're gonna talk to you about how realigning your thoughts and behaviors, so you can attract everything that you need in order to manifest or create your dream home. Okay, I'm gonna teach you how you can effortlessly manifest what you really want for your future. Right? You can deliberately create the life you love, like deliberately, consciously create it. Mm-hmm. In the home you love, following this, proven simple to follow formula for success. Okay. You'll experience a more emotionally charged life. It'll feel, amazingly happy. You'll be excited. You'll have more passion and purpose and fulfillment.
Just imagine that. Like if you go from, I think this is it for me. I'm at the peak of my career and oh my God, I'm probably even going to retire in 10 years. Oh crap. Like to what? There's a chance for me. There's a new way to do things that I haven't thought of and it doesn't require all those things that I thought it could. That feels incredible. That's very exciting. When you realize that, your energy changes, your emotion changes, you come to life, and you're going to learn very soon what that does for the manifestation process. That's the key to manifesting.
So if you think of a little story, a little example, it's used for a few things. But if you imagine a fly, right, trying to get out a window, right, trying to find its way to freedom, what does it do? It bangs itself against the window over and over and over and over and over, and it keeps banging and keeps banging and keeps banging and keeps banging and keeps banging its way, working harder, working longer, you know, beating itself to just death, keep it going, keep going. When if it were to turn and look another way, there's an open window across the room. 10 seconds of flying in a different way and doing things in a different way, opening the mind to a different possibility, the freedom of what they want is right there. Mm-hmm. So this is the difference between doing it the hard way and the easier way. Just because everyone's doing it one way, right? There's always the possibility of an easier and another way. So keep that in mind. I like that story. Mm-hmm. So when you manifest, so an easier way, do what we did and thousands others have when manifesting all of our dream homes, right? Even our business that we run and are coaching through, to help people realize their dreams was...
Well, that was one of the main reasons for starting our company, was that when we started to take the principles that we learned and the systems that we learned through Bob and through Dr. Joe and through all of our other mentors, I completely shifted the way that I was running my business, and then kind of even evolved from being a designer to being a coach to help designers run their business, because this information that we learned didn't just change our business and our professions in a totally different direction. It totally transformed our personal life and the homes that we were living in. So this evolution of why we're even here today is a direct result of the experiences that we've had in our life. So it's our passion now and our purpose to share with you how we did it so you can do it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I already said this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into the first part of this. All right. So we're going to reveal to you now the simple way to create using your thinking and feeling to attract the life you truly want to live.
Yeah. So I just want to say here, bye, sweetie. Not you guys. You're not my sweeties.
Well, kind of.
It could be. This section on creation is going to be a little bit longer than the other 3 points that we're going to be talking about, because this is the basis for manifesting your dream home. So hang tight. There's going to be a lot of kind of content here on how manifestation actually works. And then at the end of this section, we're going to give you some how-tos on how you can apply it to your life and things that you can do today to really start the process.
So this is our cottage. This is actually a view from our cottage that we took last year before
COVID, 2019.
2019, just before COVID. So this was a cottage that we always dreamed of. The interesting point is that in the beginning, we never really thought about possibly being owners of this. And now it is Can
I say how the story went?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So the story of the cottage and it's kind of very relevant to where we are in this presentation, is that we, in our very first experiences with manifesting, built a mind movie, which we're going to talk about in a little while. We'll talk in more detail later. But in this mind movie, we had to put pictures and images into this video, it's a video, of places and things and people and objects and homes and cars and all these kinds of things that we were in love with. And so it's designed to get you inspired. And so we had rented out this exact cottage the year before and the year before that for just a couple weeks at a time. But I absolutely love this property. And it was the first time that Garrett and the kids had ever been to this particular spot. And our first time going together was this cottage too. And I'd been going there for years, but this was our first time together. So it was a special place for lots of reasons. And we were newly together, and I love this place. Garrett loved this place. The kids loved this place. And so we both had a picture of this particular cottage from the previous summer in our mind movies. And kind of just like to evoke the emotion of the heat and the boat and the sand and the sun and all of that. And so it was just kind of about that at that time, with a little caption at the bottom that said, "We are so happy and grateful now that we own our vacation property," but more as a gratitude for a future of something like this. Right? Do we get to talk about the rest of the story later? Yeah. Oh, okay. You got the points there.
Yeah, I was going to
okay.
put it on there for you.
Yeah.
So the point that Tara's getting to is that we always dreamed of this lakefront. I've always dreamed of having lakefront property. It was one of my biggest dreams. We were at lakes as children, kids, water skiing, the whole bit, and always dreamed of having one eventually, but never really realizing it was a possibility. But we did. We made it a conscious decision that was, and decided we wanted to do this. And so we let the thought occupy our minds. We actually started to rent the place with the thought that, at one point this is going to be our place. And when we thought about it, as we were talking about earlier, it wasn't just the thought, but it was understanding that the feeling that was evoked when we thought about this was what was really important.
It felt when we were there. Then the very next summer, we stayed there 3 weeks, okay, which is crazy. That's a crazy long time. But we just felt this place feels like home. It feels incredible. We love it here. It's our favorite place on the planet. So all we were consumed about at that time is, I love this place. It feels incredible. I want to be here. So our desire was very strong. And we were learning about the law of attraction and how wanting it and feeling it and imagining yourself there are important factors in manifesting. But we had no money. None. No money. And just together and not in any position whatsoever to even consider purchasing.
Exactly. And every time we went, that was an important part too, is that we treated it like it was our own. We cleaned it well. We repaired things that might have been damaged, even though it wasn't our responsibility to do that. Right? And this is really important. Even though it wasn't our responsibility, even though there was absolutely no, other than thanks from the owners, but there was no expectation of that to happen. Or any type of expectation of return of anything. We just treated it like it was our own. And that was our understanding of living as if it was our own.
Yes.
Right? Already in the belief that it was our own. So that was our cottage. Okay? So now the question is, how do you actually create? Okay?
Do we finish the rest of the story here or not?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you should finish it.
Yeah, just because it might be hard to tie it back later. What ended up happening was that we did that Mind movie in February of 2019, right?
Yes.
In August of the same year, after we had spent the 3 weeks there, being kind to it, loving it, in love with it, enamored with it, we got a call when we returned back home here. This is in Osoyoos, when we returned back home, from the owner saying, "Hi, we just want to talk to you guys for a second here. We've been communicating with our neighbors, and they are just enamored with watching your great big family over there, just kind of doing your own thing, and they just love having you there. And we just wanted to say we're so appreciative of how well you care for it, care for the property. The neighbors are, you're so respectful, and they just love you. And so we just want to talk to you about something. Would you at all consider purchasing the cottage? It's for sale, and we want you to have first dibs." And we said, "Oh my gosh, you wouldn't even believe that this is on our vision, our Mind movie, and blah, 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 blah." And we said, we have no money. We can't afford a lakefront property in Osoyoos. And they said, "What if we structured something that was really, really great for you and really great for us, and we go from there?" So at the end of the day, in a very short period of time, they essentially handed us over the cottage with an understanding that we would continue to make payments on their behalf. So no money down, no paperwork to turn it into, to put it under our name, because we still can't do any of that right now, but it worked for them. We could have never, ever predicted that this type of situation would work for them and work for us.
It's really important, that point.
Right? So all that we knew was that we loved this place and it felt like home and we were enamored with it. And the opportunity, the circumstance that fit perfectly for our situation fell onto our lap, right? So all of those points about not needing the money, not knowing how it's going to happen, not needing to, have a ton of money in the bank for the down payment, that all applied to this particular property in a very short period of time after creating this My Movie.
That's the most amazing thing about this. Absolute most incredible, I'll tell you that, is that I'm still blown away at how everything happens when you manifest things that are of such a great, seems like so far away and such an impossible feat.
Yeah.
Every single time it's delivered in a way that you would never have imagined it, but ultimately is delivered. So yeah, I think it was good to share that now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So now we're going to get into a little bit more, or a little bit about how to actually apply this, how to do this, how creation works, why it works. Okay. And then we'll get into more specific of what you can do to start that process. And like Tara said, she is, that this part of the creation, this part of the presentation is a little longer because the creation part's really important.
What's that comment there?
Yes, absolutely it is.
That's an amazing story and a true testament to the, yeah, it is absolutely incredible. And we have so many of them now.
Yes, we can share one with and here's the funny thing. We're talking about manifesting our dream house. I manifested my office that my clinic is in. Exactly the same way. And an even more incredible
It's
story.
a dream property as well.
Yep.
for professional building.
Absolutely. So yes, this can be an office building,
yeah,
right?
You
That's
can
another
have your
dream,
dream, like a dream studio, dream workshop. Maybe,
Yep.
if there's some guys watching, maybe you have like a man's cave in the back of the property that you're going to put your car in and your bikes or your boat and you're going to tinker in, right?
Absolutely.
Something like that. Like this is for anything that gets you super excited and in love with being in your environment.
Absolutely. So, do you want to run through these, or do you want me to, or?
Sure. Maybe put a few down so we don't have to keep the kind of conversation. Okay, so the basis of your life is absolute freedom, right? So it's important to know, or if maybe you do know, or maybe you don't know, maybe this is new for you, and it might take again some opening up of the mind. But you are the creator of your own reality through your thoughts, through your thinking, through your feeling. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about these points in more detail. No one else can create in your experience. It's completely up to you. At the end of the day, you get final say in what thoughts you think and what action you take and what you choose to internalize. And so ultimately the responsibility is on you to create this life. Yes, there's family members that you bring along with you, but you can't rely on somebody to tell you what's right for you and what you should do and what's in your heart's desire. Only you know that. And you were born with this innate knowledge. You were born knowing that you create your reality. And as little kids, we know that. But we forget. We forget along the way due to our environment and our upbringing and life situations and circumstances and failed attempts and things like that. So
what happened? Right. So why now, if that's what we're, your inherent innate ability is to create, what happened? Well, how did we forget? Mm-hmm. Right. And that's what this slide's about.
Yeah, although born knowing this over time, as you began to integrate into society, you began to accept the same picture that everybody held of how life should be. So back a few slides when we said to you, how many of you are doing it the hard way, thinking that you need the $1 million or 2 or 3, that you're stuck where you are because of the income that you have, because you're going to destroy your relationships trying to get ahead, that you can't have it all, that's unrealistic, that's only for dreamers. Those are all untrue beliefs that you now take on as a truth because somebody taught you that or a life experience taught you that. We're here to tell you that you can change your thoughts and in turn change your reality by implementing new beliefs. And we're going to show you how to implement new beliefs so you can really change and not just like wishful thinking and pretend that you're thinking about things, but we're going to show you how you can actually recreate a brand new belief. You've been convinced along the way that their way was more valid because maybe you started to feel unworthy. Maybe you started to feel insecure. Maybe you started to feel unsure and scared and that the grass is always greener over there and I don't know, they must know better. Okay. You also learned that it was easier to adapt to their ideas of what was best for you because you lost your way. You forgot that you know the best based on your own desire. And so you relinquished your total freedom to create to what somebody else or something else told you was the best thing for you. And you can feel that in your body, like nobody likes to be told to do something that they don't want to do, right? If somebody attempts to do that to you, you feel off, you feel bad, you feel resistant, you'll dig your heels in. You know, we learned that if you're going to change at anything, it has to be your choice. So if you pay attention to your emotion, you'll realize when you're doing something that somebody else thinks you should do or what's best for you, and when you're actually following your heart on what you really want.
Perfect.
Is this the same?
No, it's different.
Okay.
So
yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's so true.
You have the freedom inside of you to decide whatever's right for you. So as Tara was talking on the last slide, right? You have to choose what life experiences you want to create. No one else can do this for you. This is 100% you. This training is all about that. It's all about how to realign with source energy. Okay, source energy can be anything to you. It can be, you know, creation, you know, nature, God, whatever it is to you. There's a source of energy that is necessary in creation. This is about reawakening to clarity, all those good feelings, to gaining the knowledge that you're free and you'll always, always be free to create your own reality. Don't let anyone steal that away from you. Don't give your power to anything else. There's no satisfaction allowing someone else to attempt to create your reality. Remember, no one can. Only you can create your own reality. And this is by law.
So just want to stop here because that's brand new to, I bet, some people, right? Because I can kind of hear people might be saying, that's ridiculous. Like, I have to listen to my spouse, or I have kids, or my parents would never agree to this or that. And so they feel that the freedom isn't theirs to decide. But ultimately, you can still respect the opinions of your spouse and of your parents and of your kids and of your whoever else has that influence over you, right? Just because you want something different than they do doesn't mean that it's over for you. It's about learning new ways to communicate what's in your heart's desire, because the people who love you should, if they don't already, want what's best for you. And when you're doing this kind of manifestation, ultimately it does work for everybody around you. It includes the love that you have for them, right? It doesn't exclude them, because you're manifesting great, wonderful things.
Perfect. So, how do you do it? How do you create? So there's a science to creation. So there's laws of the universe that dictate this as real as the laws of gravity. It involves, frequencies, electromagnetics, quantum theory. All of this is science to explain all of creation. So this is what got me so excited about teaching this to people, is that I love science, and I love applying that to life and to the way we live and to the abilities of what we can accomplish in life. And so to be able to understand this from a science perspective allows you to build a model, right, that then you can apply the skill a little bit easier, right? So once you understand the why and the what, the how gets easier, okay? When you're consciously aware of your own thoughts, okay, and you're deliberately offering them, you are the deliberate creator of your own reality. So this is really, really important. So if someone said, how do you create? How you create is through your thoughts, right? Creating them and deliberately using them, right, in a way that evokes an emotion, right, that allows you then to draw your reality to you, right? This is what you intended when you made the decision to come into this body. And this is starting to get metaphysical, but it's still in the science realm because of quantum theory now, allows us to understand this from that perspective. So it's all about energy and frequency. So we know that go ahead.
I just think I don't want to brush over it, because I think it's an important point that gets us back to, well, how did we know? We knew this before, but how did we lose our way, right? Like to understand that just because we've lost our way in believing that we create it doesn't mean it's gone. It was always there. We've just learned how to block the flow of receiving our creation.
So it's a really important point. And this is the open-mindedness. This is stuff that, this information, all of this understanding, your ability to do this is inherent, innate within you. And again, this is the science behind things. The research is telling us that we are intended to create, to manipulate our reality through the changing of or transmutation of energy. So this is the science behind it. It's such an amazing, like when you stop and think about it and go, if this is what I was designed to do, why wouldn't I spend the time trying to figure out how to do it? Right? So this is why we're here, is because this is the nuts and bolts of how you are, where exactly you are right now in your life. Because whether you are living a life you love or living a life that you're not very happy with, you are the one responsible for having created it. But because that is a reality, you also then are the one who has the ability to change it. So what's a thought other than desires, right? And beliefs. So a belief is nothing more than a thought repeated over and over and over again until it becomes a hardened fact or a belief, right? So if you think about that, you can kind of step back and go, well, are all beliefs true? Well, if you're told from when you're born that you're, not very good at something, that you're silly or stupid or something like that, and you're told that over and over and over and over again, that belief that thought, right, becomes a belief because you keep thinking it and hearing it over and over again. You want to continue?
Sure. Yeah. So how you create is through your thoughts. And when you put attention on your thoughts through your wanting of the desired object, like your dream home, through the desire of being there, like we had with our cottage, you are increasing the vibration of your thought. You're increasing the belief that you have that is possible for you. So that's through the attention. So whether you desire it to happen or you desire it not to happen, if you are giving it attention and focus and time, then you're asking for it. So that's when people say, how do you ask for it? Do I just say it? You ask when you are thinking, when you are feeling, when you are imagining, when you are remembering, when you are meditating, when you are worrying, doubting, fearing, all of those things. So it's really important to be careful with where you're placing your attention.
I think this is a good time just to mention that the truth of the universe is that it's all flowing to you. The moment the thought comes into your mind. The reason it doesn't get to you is because you're resisting it through those same thoughts and feelings. So if you can just reduce the resistance to the flow of what you need for you to accomplish, it happens faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't have to use words. So it's not like the universe is saying, what exactly is it that you want? I can't hear you, or you didn't explain that very well. The universe is responding based on frequency. And for those of our coaching clients that are here, they hear this all the time. It's not the thought that you think, it's the feeling, the vibration that you have associated with the thought that starts the manifestation process. So it's the thought, it's the feeling, it's the desire, it's the appreciation, it's the gratitude, it's the way you adore it, it's the way you're excited about it. That's all language that the universe hears and responds to.
Perfect.
The desire, that strong desire, is the beginning point of all creation. So it's in the wanting of the house, the wanting of the cottage, the wanting of the renovation. That burning desire for it is so powerful that it's the catalyst that starts the whole sequence of events of manifestation.
That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the science? Okay.
Let me go.
Yeah,
okay.
go on, sorry.
The science of deliberate creation is this, that it states that the optimal creative vantage point is when you stand on the brink of what is coming, where you're feeling eager about it and you can almost taste it and you can see it and you're optimistic and you have anticipation. But at the same time, you have what we say the faith and the trust, or the feeling of no impatience, no doubt, no feelings of unworthiness hindering the receiving. So I'm just going to say it one more time, because this is exactly, if we could sum it up, how it all, this whole creation part works. It's this. It's that you know it's coming. You're excited about it. You can see it. It's right there, but it hasn't happened yet. But even though it hasn't happened yet, you can feel confident about it happening because you trust the laws of the universe. You trust the law of attraction, so there's no impatience, doubt, unworthiness of receiving it. That's the science.
Love it.
Law of attraction.
So I think a few of you may have heard of this law of attraction, and it all works. This is how the law of attraction is involved, right? It's one of the most powerful laws of the universe, right? And it's based on the law of vibration. Everything radiates or vibrates at a frequency, right? And that frequency is what you want to match through your emotions, correct? So every thought attracts a matching signal back. So the way I tend to explain this is that because our brains have nerves, and nerves create a voltage and an amperage, it means that there's electricity. So there's electricity in the nerves. And by definition, in the laws of physics, that electricity creates an electromagnetic signature. And so depending on all the neural networks that you fire to create the picture of your dream house, that picture is it comes out as an electromagnetic picture in the way you fire the nerves to create the picture in your mind. The thing is that electromagnetic picture doesn't stay within the confines of your skull, so it's going to move out into the universe. Well, like waves attract like waves. So that would mean that then when that goes out in the universe, it is searching for, right, the matching electromagnetic picture, and that's how you start drawing it to you. This is process called the law of attraction.
It's the big dude. The law of attraction is best known as the universal manager. And it sees that everything that you think and feel and believe and are excited about, or that you really, really don't want, that it all lines up with the opportunities and circumstances that are on the same frequency. So it's managing the frequency, opportunity. Where are you on that whole scale of things? It's the same principle as when you turn on the radio and you deliberately tune your receiver to match a signal of a station you want to listen to. You don't expect to hear, country music on the rock station, right? You understand that the radio has frequencies, and where you set your tuner is the same station as from the broadcasting tower. Well, the law of attraction is the same thing. You can't set your tuner on, a $10 million dream home, but your energy and your tuner and your frequency in your body is, in a rundown condo in a neighborhood that you really hate. If you're feeling there, how can you attract the same frequency up here?
Perfect. It's a great way. This is probably the easiest way to understand creation from the analogy of radio stations, right? Like JR Country is 93.7.
I think so.
And I don't know, the Z is 95.3. Not very far apart in the frequency.
Yeah.
Right? But completely different music.
Yeah.
One being country, one being like pop rock. Mm-hmm. You're never going to tune into the country station thinking you're going to hear pop rock. Right?
Well, it just would never happen.
It could never happen. So if you can think of your thoughts as that same model, that frequency. So you are the JR Country and you want to hear the JR, or let's say it this way. The dream house is JR Country. Okay, if you're tuned in to pop rock, you're never going to be able to hear the country music. Okay, this is identical. So just as Tara said, if you are you want that house, you can say it all you want, but if you aren't vibrationally vibrating,
thinking, feeling, being, believing,
and that's how you create that. If you're not doing that, then that slows down the manifestation of your dream home. Mm-hmm. Right? It's exactly the same principle. So, how do you apply this in your life?
Your experiences cause you to launch vibrational rockets of desire, right? So when you experience something that you want, either by seeing somebody else have it or experiencing it literally in your life, or seeing, maybe a home on Houzz or Pinterest or a cottage or something that you've been to, that experience starts the whole process of the desire in you, which sets the vibration out into the universe. And so the trick is, you've identified that feels good. There's something about that you like. It's causing a higher vibration in you. You have to find ways of holding yourself consistent in that vibrational harmony with where those desires exist in order to receive the manifestation. So if you only think about what you like about that particular house one time for just a little, minute, the frequency is not strong enough and it's not long enough to be sent out into the universe. So the trick is that you want to be able to hold that feel-good feeling of that opportunity and circumstance as long as you can throughout each and every day. And we're going to give you tips on how you can do that.
And we're going to share with you the length we went to when we were manifesting our current home.
Yeah.
So we'll share that with you later. Right?
Yeah, so you are creating your reality in the same way that a sculptor is using clay to create their art. Right? You're creating by molding the energy. So you're creating by molding your thoughts and your feelings and your beliefs into the life that you want. You mold it through your power of focus. By thinking about these things, by remembering them, by imagining them. For the people that we work with, they do this through productive actions. They do this through gold cards. They do this through writing out their dream life over and over again. They do repetitive things, systematic, repetitive things every day to hold themselves in the vibration, in the thought and the feeling of where their desired circumstance is. You focus your energy when you speak about it. So talk about it all the time. Talk as if it's yeah, I'm having that cottage. Yeah, my dream home is, it's coming. It's, it's there. I can see it. I can feel it. Talk about, what does it look like? What does it feel like? How big is it? How small is it? How cute is it? How extravagant is it? Whatever it is. Write it out, write a journal, write affirmations, just be in it all of the time. It's also working for you when you are silent and you're just like in a quiet moment, or you're going for a walk or a run. And when you're remembering and you're imagining yourself in that situation is the strongest and biggest and most powerful way to use your energy to create your opportunity quickly. When you focus it through your projection of thought, so by affirming and appreciating it not have yet happening, but you can imagine that it's there for you. And with enough time and with enough patience, you will learn to mold this energy to create not only your dream house, but anything you want in your life. And this is the exact process that we used. Yeah, so this story about setting our C goal at the Matrix was exactly that. I didn't have a C goal, and a C goal, for those who don't know, is like a big goal that you've never done before, but it's something you really, really want. And it's designed to help you to grow and to change and to develop and all of these things so that you can be at the level where your opportunity exists. But my C goal was everything that we're talking about today. I not only wanted my dream home, but I wanted it with my soulmate. And Garrett and I weren't together yet, right? I wanted everything that we're talking about today. I wanted the whole package. I wanted the soulmate with the beautiful, and again, beautiful home to me at that time was not something crazy. It was just a quaint home that was pretty, but we were together and we were in love, and it had an ocean view and there was a forest, and that I had all of these images and feelings of what I wanted my life to be like in that home. And so that was my big goal. And for some people that would be, well, that's just my life. Like, that's no big deal. Wasn't my life at the time. I was starting over and recreating my life. So that was a big goal for me. And in that desire, like we talked about earlier, it was in that desire and applying these points that you see on this slide, was able to have that manifest as well in probably 6 months, all of it. Every single thing on there. And the trick that I used at that time through Bob was writing out your life story, writing out your movie, thinking about it all the time, and writing it on your goal card.
Love it.
So these are some of the strategies that you can implement today to apply what we just talked about in this creation process, so you can start to see the results super quickly.
So all of that creation leads to these 3 strategies that you can use. So what we wanted to do was make sure that in this workshop that you were actually being able to apply stuff right away, and to go away with a actionable plan to start the creation of your dream home. So, first thing you got to do is decide what it is you actually truly, really, really want. That's the desire. So the desire is the key component in starting the creation process. Right? You have to let go of all circumstances and current results in your life. Time, money, resources, throw them out the door. They're all open. Nothing resists or stands in the way of what your dream is going to be. So you really, really, really have to dream about this. This has to be something that, you know, wellows up the, you know, excitement and that level of, you know, surprise, like just every elevated emotion you can think of.
I think too, just to pay attention to be sure it's something you want.
Yes, you leave others out, right?
Well,
Yeah.
because you, again, like you can, if you're just kind of like winging it, or, you know, what is it I've always wanted since I was a kid? It may not be what you want anymore. So, you know, we coach people to like have a hot bath or do a meditation or get out in nature, go for a run or workout or whatever, and then just get yourself settled, clear the slate and say, okay, what, like today, where I am right now in my life, what is it I really want in my dream home? Because for a lot of people, it's not what you thought it was even a few weeks ago, maybe, because you were in the habit of thinking it was one thing. So be clear on it, because you'll know when you're clear on it. You'll feel it in your body that, yep, at least as it pertains to this dream home. Okay, when we're talking about your whole life and all of that, it's different, but really get clear on for this workshop.
Absolutely.
What it is that you really, really want. That clarity is like the laser focused desire that you need for the motivation, right? And for the manifestation.
And that's a really important part to you know, add into this, is to really think about taking everything out of the picture and being brutally honest with what you want and why you want it, right? Like a lot of people say they go to the gym to work out to stay healthy. You know, when you start prying and you start working with them, and you start to realize that the real reason they want to go and they feel ashamed about this is that they want to look good. Because they've been conditioned to believe that vanity is a bad thing. That you know, having that desire to look good, thin, six-pack, whatever you want, is actually a negative thing. It doesn't matter. It's what other people think. If you want it because you want the six-pack, go after the six-pack, you'll get it. You won't get it the other way.
So there's the key word here is desire, you guys. You have to want this so bad. Burning desire. Not just a little, that would be nice. It won't work. It's not strong enough. It's got to be powerful. What do you really want? What's going to get you jazzed? What are you excited about? How amazing is it going to feel? You have to really, really want it.
And then, you know what? If you know it now, it'd be cool. Just throw it into the
Yeah,
comments.
I'd love to know.
Like write it up. If you have an idea of what you're looking for, right, or what you want in your life, I'm interested, right? Because like I said, a cottage on the lake was the first thing I wanted. I didn't even want a house anywhere else. It was like, I'll take a cottage on the lake and rent a house everywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I want this cottage. So that was you're crazy to want a cottage over a house first. I'm like, oh, really? The funny thing is, when you do what you want to do, it's the most exciting thing in the world, and nobody can take it away from you. So if you do know, like, just take a moment, print it out in there. This is the next step. After you know what you want, this is an important...
Yeah, and sometimes not even after, but to help you figure out.
That's true, yeah.
Because something that I learned in this line of work too is that you don't really know. And we're asking you to really know and to really have a strong desire. So if you don't yet know, there are some apps that you can go to online. The best one, I think, is Pinterest, but Houzz is also great as well. And Houzz is, it's not here, but Houzz. Oh, it's just spelled wrong, sorry. Or you can look through magazines. So just kind of try to spend some time getting clear on sort of the location of the home. Is it in the forest? Is it in the mountain? Is it on the lake? Is it on the ocean? Is it in the city? What kind of style are you drawn to? Is it something really modern and kind of minimalistic, or is it cozy and farmhouse? Is it somewhere in between? And pay attention to why you're liking these things. What is it about those homes or vacation properties or workshops or whatever it is that you're wanting that makes you feel great? So get super specific so that you can get clear. So now you've got the desire for something. You're clear on what you want. You can now specifically ask for something. And then you can go to creation. But you can't create unless you have a burning desire and unless you know what you want.
Because remember, I would think of number 2 kind of like a, you know, if you went to the furniture store and you said, I want a couch, and that's all you asked for was a couch, and they bring out the first one and be like, yeah, I don't want that one. They bring out the second one, yeah, I don't want that one. Bring out the third one, yeah, I don't want that one. So how much time is it going to take for you to create the couch you want by that type of detail? So if you're not detailed enough, it's taking long because the universe doesn't know what to deliver to you because you're not clear on what you really want. So the whole idea behind the clarity is not just this thing to do to build just, you know,
A pretty picture board.
or even just to keep the thought of a house on your mind. It's about to clearly order what it is you want in the house that you want.
One of our colleagues says it's like putting your order into Amazon Prime. Right, this is Universe Prime.
This is Universe Prime.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so you can use any or all of the following tools to help you put these images into your mind and into your the feeling of what you want. You can use a physical vision board, so you can cut things out of magazines. You can do a mind movie video, which is what we did, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. You can use a mind movie script, a written script that you write out. You can use meditation, affirmations, or you can just write it out on a gold card.
So those are the things that start to drive this home. This is the repetition. This is the constant over and over again. This is what keeps your vibration up in relation to your house.
We'll post this as homework underneath the in the
Yes.
Facebook group for those of you who missed those points.
Okay. Next, our second point we're going to talk about. So now we're going to get it going a little bit quicker now. So
Well, that was the biggest chunk.
It was the biggest chunk.
So these sections are much smaller, but
Yeah.
but unless you understand that part of creation, the rest of these slides won't make sense. So if anybody at this point even has a question about it, just pop it in because we want to make sure that we're ready to move on to the next.
and really, I mean, probably one of the most important points is that you have to believe that what we just talked about with creation is true and is possible for you. Because if you don't believe it, that's going to hold you back from you attaining what it is that you want. So take the time to run through the last little bit and truly, really open your mind to understanding that you are here to create your own reality, and through your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, you can do that. So
it's really, I just want to say, I just took a peek at who's here. So thank you guys for watching. It's really nice to have you here. So you guys can ask questions too. So there's some people that are brand new watching us, and then there's some people who are clients and friends, so and family. So feel free to loosen up and chat and ask things along the way.
Absolutely. So next, we're going to talk about what most people don't realize about your attitude and your beliefs. So the key to bringing something into your experience that you do desire is to achieve vibrational harmony with it. So we touched a lot about this in the creation part of it, but we're going to go into a little bit more on the feeling of things. Okay. So the easiest way for you to do this is to imagine having it and pretending that it's already in your experience. This is that living from the wish fulfilled, right? And it works with the concept of gratitude, right? Gratitude is this state in which you are most open to receiving, because we are only grateful once we receive something. So this is the opportunity to apply the laws of gratitude and vibrations.
So just in case anybody missed it, so you're imagining that you are grateful for something that you don't yet have, right? So you're in your mind, you're using your imagination to feel grateful for the house that you don't have yet, for that house that you're living in that you love. So you're vibrating at the frequency and feeling as if you are already living there. It's much different than thinking, I want to live there. or I'm going to live there one day. This is you're in the house, you're cooking dinner, you're having your friends over, you're tucking the kids in bed, you're walking outside with a glass of wine, you're feeling as if. So you're grateful for the experience.
So by paying attention to the way you feel, so here's where the feeling comes into things. It's easy to identify whether you're giving your attention towards the presence of your desire, right? Or if you're giving attention towards the absence of your desire.
Yeah. So this just came up on our last call. One of our clients said, how come the stuff that you don't want happens so quickly and happens all the time, and the stuff you do want either never happens or it takes so long? This is why. This is the exact reason why what you don't want keeps manifesting. It's because you're giving all of your attention to the not wanting or to the not having of what it is that you want. So we're asking you to pay no attention to what your current situation is and what you do not want. You ignore it. It might come up a little bit. Okay, there you are, over there. That's not going to serve me well to think about. I'm going to put all my attention on what I do want. Mm-hmm.
Right? And you'll feel good when you match the vibration of the goal that you're looking for. So when you, and we do talk with our clients a lot about this, you know, if you are in a place where you're not just feeling good one day, you may have had a bad run-in with someone and you're just vibrating at this low frequency, it's really hard for you to get to that big elevated emotion. You just want to move up a little bit of that ladder, so you want to feel a little bit better. So the most important thing is to check in with your feelings a bit. If you're feeling happy, you know, you're joyful, you're loving, you're helping people, you're being compassionate, empathetic, those are the frequencies, or those are the emotions that will match you when you're living in your dream house.
Yeah,
right?
So do you think that your dream house would have a frequency of like what would be like a really terrible situation? Like I don't know, like something really negative and ugly and gross and dirty and unhealthy, like an environment like a smoky, dingy bar or something like that. There's a different frequency in a place like that, right? Than there is this beautiful, peaceful, joyful, happy dream home. So because your thoughts and your attitude has to match the house, the opportunity, the circumstance, the people to attain it, you have to have a higher level of emotions. You have to feel joy. You have to feel content. You have to feel expectant. You have to feel eager. You have to be sure. Because that's where that opportunity is. You're not going to find the house or the opportunity or the person with a lower level opportunity, because those are lower level feeling. Those lower level feelings have different opportunities there. They're not what you want because they're not making you happy. That's your first indicator that that's not what you want.
So if anyone's ever questioned vibration and energies and frequencies, just think about when you go for a hike or a walk in nature and you just seem to like calm down a bit. It seems to be beautiful and you seem to be able to feel a little bit less stressed out. And that's because the frequency of nature matches our frequency with respect to what we're made of: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. So when you're in amongst nature, you actually vibrationally match it, so you get a better feeling. So that's how this is identical. Now we're just telling you to be conscious about it and apply it to creating what it is in your life. So as we said, right, you're going to have worry, pessimism, anger, discouragement, depression, insecurity, if you're looking at the lack or the absence of your desire. That's why your checking in with your feeling is such an important component of everyday living.
Yeah, so I think this is a really good, like, just something to let sink in. If your attitude throughout the day, on most days, if this is your personality, let's say, your personal reality, you feel generally worrisome and pessimistic and discouraged and deflated and insecure. So you now have an attitude, a negative attitude. So your experiences that you draw to you through the law of attraction, which doesn't discriminate, will be situations and circumstances that are not positive. They will be negative circumstances.
So you will attract that to you because you are vibrating at the frequency of lack.
So if you want the better opportunity, you have to search for the better feel-good feeling of the joy, contentment, expectation, faith, eagerness, those types of things. Okay, so that's why you can't attract the dream home with a negative vibration or with a low level vibration. Yeah,
absolutely. So you get what you think about whether you like it or not. And this is a quote
from one of our favorite books,
yeah.
Ask and It Is Given. Yeah.
So by the powerful universal law of attraction, you draw to you the essence of whatever you are predominantly thinking about. So if you're predominantly thinking about the things that you desire, your life experience reflects those things. Mm-hmm. And in the same way, if you are predominantly thinking about what you do not want, your life experience reflects those things.
Yeah, who can relate to that? This happens to me all the time. And I get reminded when I've got some situations happening in my life that aren't what I want. I'm like, why is this happening? I know better. And yeah, I know better, but I'm definitely putting more attention on the not wanting of the thing that's happening. It's always a good checkpoint. If you're getting more of what you don't want, absolutely more of your attention is spent on the not wanting it or the not yet having of what you do want.
So a good way to understand if you attract more of what you don't want versus more of what you do want is check in with the results in your life in any given area. Whether it's health, whether it's your home, your family, your relationships, your job, your finances. If something is not where you want it to be, it's because you are predominantly thinking about it in the way in which it exactly exists in your reality, based on the universal law of attraction. So yeah, every idea, every thought, every being, everything is vibrational.
So absolutely everything.
Everything is vibrational. As Bob loves to say, we live in an ocean of motion.
Yeah.
Right? So when you focus your attention on something, even for the shortest period of time, the vibration of yourself begins to reflect the vibration of which you are giving your attention to. So if you're giving your attention to something negative, you start to shift your vibration to that negativity. And you can be in a very happy mood. That's how people can bounce between moods. Right? They feel really good and then all of a sudden, boom, middle of the day, something bad happens. They respond to their environment in a way, they start to take on that vibration. And by the end of the day, they're not feeling good anymore. Okay? The more you think about it, the more you vibrate like it. The more you vibrate like it, the more of that which is like it is attracted to you. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you invite everything into your life through your thoughts.
So this is how things snowball.
Absolutely.
You think about it, and then it's just a little bit of a life situation happening to you. Then you think about it a little bit more, then it's a little bit more, then a little bit more, a little bit more. That's how things snowball. So they snowball in the positive way, just like they do the negative. A little bit of positive thought, a little bit of positive expectation on what you want, and then a little bit more and a little bit more does the same thing the other way, very, very quickly.
Okay.
The vibration of your being must match the vibration of your desire in order for the desire to be fully received. So some people say, I really wanted this, but I fell short. I only got so far. And it's because the vibration of your being wasn't fully at the same level of where your opportunity exists.
Okay.
Yeah. You cannot desire something, predominantly focus on the absence of it, and then expect to receive it. And that's because the vibrational frequency of the absence of the thing is much different than the vibrational frequency of having the thing. They're opposites.
Right. And so Source hears, exactly, hears and will immediately answer you based on your vibrational frequency, not on your words. So it's an electronic request. Like Tara said, the universe's predominant language is vibration or is emotion and feeling.
Yeah, so don't think you have to be an expert in manifesting and know all about the law of attraction and all about the law of creation, all of the science of this and science of that. If all you get from this whole little section here is that even without your words, just based on what you spend time thinking, reading, writing, feeling, talking about, whatever you spend the most time on in those areas is what the universe hears and what is going to be reflected back to you.
Excellent.
So how can you
apply this to your life?
Increase your chances of manifestation by using attitude and belief, right?
Absolutely. You take on an attitude of gratitude, thankfulness, and appreciation, right? For what you do have and what you wish to have in the near future. So this is having gratitude for the things you have already and for the things that you expect to receive in the future, like a dream home.
So you could start each day with a gratitude list or with doing some affirmations just in your head. You can, do them as you're working out or waking up or in the shower or in the bath or whatever, but just really set the intention to have a positive attitude in the morning at the start of your day.
You get to choose all this. Remember, your attitude is a composite of your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors. It's all those three things: thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So choose to have a good one. You don't have to respond to anyone in a negative way. That's your choice. Anyone who says he made me feel like this. No, he didn't. You chose to feel like that because it activated a certain neural network in the brain that caused you to make the choice to respond like that. It's your choice how you respond. No one makes you feel anything.
And then commit to maintaining that emotion of feeling good and feeling of a positive attitude about your life and the positive expectation of it manifesting throughout the whole day. You can't keep it there necessarily in the beginning all day long, but do little checkpoints throughout the day and adjust your attitude. But knowing that it's not just for the sake of you feeling better, but that's how you have to do it to manifest what you really want.
Yes, expect to reach your goal with ease, right? This is another one, expectation. A lot of people think it's hard to get somewhere, and if you think it's hard, it's going to be hard, right? If you think it's hard or you think it's simple, you're right.
If you think it's hard or you think it's simple, you're right. It's the best.
Yeah, I love
Both
that.
are right depending on your belief.
Yeah. And trust. Have trust in the universe that it will grant you what you ask for because you desire it and you're applying the laws of attraction to it. Mm-hmm. Right? Listen, nothing in your life needs to change except for your thoughts and feelings of it, and then your life will start to change. Okay? And just use that imagination, which happens to be your most powerful force in the universe. Use your imagination because your brain doesn't know the difference between what is reality and what is a thought.
And again,
right?
this might be these are kind of feminine points here, and I see that the masculine version of you is glazing over them a little bit. But these are two important points from at least my female perspective. Like the feeling of imagining that you have this powerful stream of abundance that you can just dip into, right? And that you're just like basking in the flow of this abundant energy that is your birthright to experience. Like that is so powerful and such a beautiful feeling. And because you're wanting to get into the feeling of those things, use some imagery like that to help you.
Absolutely.
Another huge one. If you don't feel worthy, if you don't feel you deserve this or it pertains to you, how can you ever receive it? You have to know that there's nothing you need to do to earn it. It's rightfully yours.
How many people were told when you were younger that everything is within you to have everything you want?
Nobody. That's not how,
right?
None of our generation was really, that I know of.
But I just remember people saying, I do remember people telling me that you have, you could be anything you want. You can achieve anything, right? And I started thinking about that and went, we just don't embrace that reality. It's like we don't believe it, right? This is why.
Most people, I think, are told the opposite.
That's right. I'm going to bring these up. There's lots of points here, right? We're kind of...
Yeah, so You know, like this isn't just for people who are really close to making it. You know, they've got their job nailed down and they're making good money and their marriage is fantastic and the kids are awesome and the next step is the dream home. This doesn't work like this. Like you can be in prison, diagnosed with some terrible terminal illness, facing bankruptcy, being in the middle of divorce, and this still applies to you. You don't wait for when I'm through this, then I'm going to do that. Or if I didn't have this in my life, then I could do that. You're in the perfect position to get where you want to be right from where you are right now.
Because circumstances around you are the biggest obstacle for you to manifest what it is you want. When you let those circumstances dictate how you feel, right, how you act and how you think, if your circumstances aren't good, then you are not going to get out of that state.
Yep, so it doesn't require a whole ton of time. What it does require is a simple understanding of these universal laws that we're talking about and some determination to move forward toward a state of allowing, using this positive expectant attitude that we were just talking about.
Perfect. So that's just touching on the attitude of things and understanding that that attitude, your positive mental attitude, will draw to you the dream home that you desire, because if your attitude is what we call a good attitude or a positive mental attitude, right? And that's a choice, that's a thought, it's practice, it's repetition, it's being responsive, not reactive in life. But when you choose to have that good attitude, you're choosing to have the attitude that matches your dream home, okay? So I hope everyone got that. Next, we're moving on to where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Okay? So what are you giving your attention to? Okay, whatever you're giving your attention causes you to emit the vibration. So this is what we were talking about a little actually in attitude as well, right? And the vibrations you offer equal your asking, which equals your point of attraction, right? So whatever you give your attention to, right, that's your point of attraction. So if you want something that you don't already have, right, you need to put your attention on it, like your dream home, right? And through the law of attraction, it will come. And that is science.
So you don't have to undo anything. You don't have to develop a whole new paradigm. You don't have to work through childhood issues. All you need to do is put your attention on what it is that you do want.
Because your attention is where you focus your energy. Okay? As you think about the thing you desire, again, you create that vibrational match, and then by the law of attraction, right, that desire must come into your reality. Okay? Remember, this works the same for something you don't want as well. So remember to put that attention on what it is that you truly do want.
And we just keep saying this because if you've tried before to manifest and you still don't have it, it's important to remember and to point out it's probably because the attention was put on more of the not having.
And if you have questions with this or you feel like this might be something you're struggling with, then drop us a line too, and we'll help you through that. Okay. Everything around us, like we were saying, vibrates, right? Including us. We are vibrational beings. We have the same cells and the same molecules that the rest of the universe has. So we are vibrating exactly the same as the rest. You can feel whether you're allowing your full connection to source energy or not, right? If you feel good, right? As we were saying, you're excited, you're joyful, you're helping people, compassionate, empathetic, then you are allowing your connection to that abundance. So if you think about it, if all you ever did in life was just found a way to be happy every moment, you would be attracting all of that abundance into your life. So check in a little bit with yourselves right now and do a little bit of a report card and go, how have I been feeling in the last, day, week, month, year? Because right now our circumstances for some people are really working against them, because of this COVID thing. For others, it's actually not. It's working to our benefit, right? So yeah, feeling good equals allowing, feeling bad equals resisting.
So what the feeling bad actually is telling you is that whatever is happening in your life right now is not what you want. If you wanted it, it would feel good. So if you're feeling shitty and you're feeling depressed and you're feeling frustrated and you're looking around, you're like, this just doesn't feel good. It's like a symptom of some kind of illness to say, hey, I'm trying to tell you here, the body has no other way of doing it but through emotions and symptoms. It's saying, this isn't what I signed up for. This isn't my soul's desire. This isn't my heart's desire. Pay attention to me. Let's change things so we can feel good and happy. Feeling good and happy is the indication you're living the life that you choose to live.
You know, I think that's a great analogy to use. Like when you feel pain from a sliver or a cut, that's your body telling you something's not going well. Right? So
that's what feelings do.
That's what feelings are for. Feelings are identical. It's your spirit's way of telling you are in vibrational frequency with that with which makes you happy.
Yeah, so if you have a desire and it keeps getting stuffed down because you can't see it manifest and you keep failing, or it's so far out of reach, you'll notice your emotions are getting worse. And you're getting unhappier, and then now you're getting anxious, and now you're getting depressed, and now you're despondent, and now you're overwhelmed, and now you want to give up because you're not paying attention to what the emotion's trying to tell you. So it's time to switch gears and go up the scale of emotions the other way.
So how does this apply in your life and to you guys? Okay? So faith and fear both ask you to believe in something you cannot see. This is great. So you know,
Sorry, I can let the dog out.
The faith of seeing you living in your dream life that you've always desired, or your dream house you've always desired, right? And the fear that you're never ever going to be able to live in that dream home are two things that don't exist right now, or they aren't physically in front of you. But one is based off of fear and one is based off of faith. So they're both asking you to believe in something. It's just as easy to believe in the fact that you're going to have your dream home as much as it is to believe in the fact that you never will. We're asking you to put the faith in that. Put your attention on what you do want, not on what you do not want. Okay? So this is the whole point of looking at the faith versus fear. Have faith in achieving the dream home rather than having or believing in the fear that you never will. And then with practiced attention, the law of attraction delivers circumstances, conditions, experiences, and people that match your dominant vibration. So this is the whole point about what we were talking about earlier, where you won't know how you're going to achieve your dream home. You don't get to choose that. All you get to choose is what you want, and the universe will deliver it in the way in which it was meant for you. If you try to figure it out, you actually create resistance. This is a really big point.
The trying to figure it out creates resistance because that's when the doubt and the worry come in. And so you can see as soon as you start to try to figure it out and you don't have the answer and you're looking for the answer, your frequency instantly changes to a lower vibration, and now you've lost the frequency of where the opportunity existed.
This is probably one of the biggest points, some of the hardest that some of you may struggle with, is that it literally does not require you to know how you're going to get it.
Which makes it also easier for you.
Which makes it way easier because you don't have to do anything. If you really think about what we mean by do. Your job is to know what you want and to desire it so deeply that it evokes an emotion inside of you, just like in reality. Okay? Just like the cold creates goosebumps on your body, the thought of your dream home should create goosebumps on your body. Okay? And then you're going to continue to think the thoughts of what you want. That builds the faith, right?
Yeah, the longer you think the thoughts of what you want, the stronger your faith becomes, which means the stronger the vibration comes. So when it's super strong, things happen fast. The reason you don't manifest right away when you just first start thinking about something is it's not a strong enough signal. Right? It's not a strong enough signal yet because the belief is not super powerful. But as you do this through time and it becomes like, oh my gosh, now I really believe it and I'm really excited about it and I really want it, it's much stronger, so it happens so much faster.
Love it. So it builds up momentum. So all of this stuff that we're telling you to do, all these actionable steps, it's not just a one shot, I'm done. Okay, good. That was good. I'm done this. No, this is about doing it for the rest of your life.
You don't give up until it materializes.
Yeah, you don't at all. It's exactly right. You can't.
Too many people say, they set out on this path, like, I want that, like as if they're booking a trip, right, to Hawaii. But then they get halfway to Hawaii and they turn around. And they come back to where they were, and then they try again. They go maybe 3/4 of the way, and then they gave up because it didn't happen fast enough. So they turned around and came back.
That's exactly
You
right.
stay on course until you get there. And it will speed up. It'll speed up as you get better and better and better at it. Okay, so this is one of the tools you can use, is this mind movie that we were talking about, to put yourself in a position of having faith, right? You want to put your attention on the faith and not the fear, so you can go to this website called mindmovies.com, and we've used this a couple of times now in our manifesting, and it is a dream. It is a charm. It works every time. 100% of the things that we had in our mind movie have manifested. 100% of them, both times, super quickly. So you get to upload still images from your photo library. You can find images on Pinterest or Houzz.
You can do videos.
You can do video clips that you have, or
videos.
You can upload video clips of other people's lives, and you create this whole digital mind movie of the life that you want to live. So you can do this for your dream home.
And
you
then
do it specifically for your dream home.
And then you attach music to it, so that the music then gives the sound that you connect to, so that the images match this song. Then you can start just playing the song, not even seeing the images, and your mind will start remembering and start rewriting the program to attract this. So this is all subconscious programming that this works on.
And when your mind can do that, when the image can be so real, the body doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So now you've rewired a whole potential reality for you just through your imagination. So if you can get into the habit of creating this and watching it over and over again, you literally are changing your reality by watching a movie.
All right. So this is a really good resource if you guys want to do this. Want to get there and get a subscription to it. It's a fantastic.
This is the one we were talking about with the cottage.
With the cottage, exactly.
Yeah. So this is what we did.
Yep. And we got specific, and it was absolutely incredible.
And again, when you do it, just like our clients who we say you have to really feel in the spirit of it, you really get emotionally involved in those images. So you're feeling as if it's actually happening. Again, that's the key.
That's amazing. So the next thing we're going to talk about is this little known secret that initiates the manifestation process. Something that I didn't know about until we really started working with the material. So we're going to share with you a little known secret that starts this whole process. Okay?
Who can guess what it is? Type it in.
I think we alluded to it on the first slides of this show.
Somebody kept it.
I know, we should have. It was not well edited. So we're going to teach you a little something that most people never learn in their life, okay? And if you pay attention to what we suggest, it can absolutely alter that, right? And what we're talking about is a little bit of our story, right? We felt stuck, but now we're living in our dream, dream lives, not just the dream home. We're in our dream lives. Because a few years ago, we did this, which is we made a decision. And not just any decision, but we made it a committed decision. This was probably the biggest lesson I learned, was that decision making is a key component of this manifestation process. And it's not just a willy-nilly decision. It's a committed decision, right? So, you know that only 5% of the population is considered winning, right? That means 95% of people are struggling through their whole lives, okay? Main reason is because they have not learned this skill of how to make a decision. Just on that, I mean, all experts agree, right? And everyone likes to say that most experts disagree on everything except for the fact that we become what we think about all day long. It is our thoughts that determine our results, okay? So the longer you think the thought, the stronger that thought becomes. So as we said earlier, you know, the more times you think a thought, so the repetition of a thought over and over again in your mind becomes a hardened fact or a belief, right? So it's not possible to give your attention to something without creating an alignment with it to some degree, right? So no matter what, as soon as you think of something, you are creating a connection to it in some way. So the longer you ponder the thought, the more frequently you return to it, the stronger your vibrational alignment becomes. So you are basically becoming emotionally involved in the thought is the way we talk about it, right? So the more you think the thought, you become more emotionally involved, okay? And so with this practiced attention, okay, to any subject, this is where the law of attraction delivers the things that we're talking about, which is all of the things necessary for you to get your dream home. So with the practice, your work is the practiced attention. The universe's job is to deliver the circumstances, conditions, experience, people, and all the things that match that habitual dominant vibration. And as things begin to manifest around you that match the thoughts you've been holding, you now develop stronger and stronger vibrational habits. So this is what Tara was talking about, is that as the thoughts get stronger, you kind of build momentum and things start to snowball. So just as things that are bad can snowball, things that are good can snowball. So this once small, little insignificant thought then grows and develops into this powerful belief. Okay, and this is how we create our reality. And your powerful belief will always be played out or played on in your experience. Okay? So I'll share with you our story.
So just to regroup, because I think we might have got some things mixed around there. We're talking about the power of making a committed decision, because until you make the committed decision that you're going to do this, you are going after your goal of having this dream home, you're not serious enough. The universe isn't taking you serious enough. So there's not like that spark that it's not getting, you're not getting the universe's attention. So you will not be able to really progress through this sequence of manifesting, from taking this, what you really want, to having the right attitude, to choosing the faith, to making that happen without making the decision that you're going after it. Nothing will happen until that decision is made. And we've seen it in our lives time and time again, and Garrett's going to talk about that story. But the power of the making of the decision is the main secret in how everything that you need shows up once that decision is made.
And you know when that decision is made because it feels different.
Yep.
It feels completely
you guys,
different.
I'm sure you had life experiences like that. You know when you're on the right answer. You know when you've picked the right goal. You know when you've picked the right partner. You know when you got the right outfit. There's a certainty about it. That certainty is very important.
Absolutely. Our story was, and we just related it to what we do now, is we were in this place where we were working on improving ourselves. So we're reading books, watching the webinars, scrolling through posts, and basically gaining the knowledge, right, of this whole process. Okay. but really nothing significant was happening. It was like we were attaining all this information and we were getting all this knowledge, but application didn't seem to be happening. So it was, you know, I'd say a little while into this that we decided to make the committed decision, and it came somewhat in our own lives, right? We made a committed decision to change our lives, right? We committed to investing in ourselves. We paid for, you know, a program with Bob, that was the Matrix, and then really seriously got into this material, and then things did start to change. We started operating at that different vibrational frequency. So by doing the work, by applying it, so not just receiving the information, but getting emotionally involved in it, right? Because we made this committed decision, and the committed decision was to make and live our dream life, that we decided to get involved in all sorts of...
Yeah, so you guys were kind of saying that you're making the committed decision for yourself, for your life, for your future, for your family, that this is going to be your new reality, right? And that you're going to do whatever it takes to make that a reality. So you're going to apply what we've taught you today. We've given you four areas of your life that you can look at, and some tools and tips you can use in each section. You're going to, you know, do those things because you've decided that you're going to not do it the way you've always been doing it, but you're going to do it a new way. You're choosing to do it a new and different way for new results, which is what we did too. That's how we got to where we are. But without making that decision of saying, screw it, we're doing it, we never would have done any of it.
Yeah, and we are talking about manifesting your dream home. But this is manifestation doesn't, you know, just stop at things in your life, right? So we became the people we aspired to be before we were even our results were showing any of that, rather than being the people we were sad we were not. So what that means is we actually started to act as if everything that we desired was in our lives at that moment. So we entered into our lives with feeling. We focused and, you know, committed our resources to, you know, what we wanted to do that was better in our lives. And so this is all we're saying is just apply this to the home that you want, and you can have it exactly the way you want. Okay? So how do you do this? How do you make a decision, a committed decision? Well, the first thing is your want is the only prerequisite for making a decision. Your desire, your deep desire. That's why we went so long on the creation part of this. It's your want that has to be so strong that you can make that decision. That's all that it takes to have anything and everything you want in your life. Not only your dream home, but absolutely everything, right? Successful people make decisions fast because they know what they want.
So I just want to go back to the first one. So people like get so caught up in, I don't know if I can do this, and I don't know how to do this, and I don't really believe them. That doesn't cost a lot of money. We're not asking you to believe in any of that to make the decision. All we're saying is, do you want it? Do you want the dream home? If you want it, then you say to yourself, okay, I do. That's it. So make the decision. That's all we're asking you to do. You're not going to have the rest figured out right now. Absolutely. Just, do you want it?
And when you know what you want, you'll always find what's necessary to get it. The same thing as saying is, if your desire is great enough and you do what we did earlier, or we were telling you to do earlier in this workshop, in this presentation, then you'll always find what's necessary, because the universe will deliver it to you when you need it. Every time, all the time. When you make the decision to change your life, you'll always find the time and money. Circumstances, as we said before, are the greatest resistance when making an important decision. Circumstances is what takes away and crushes more dreams than anything. It's the greatest obstacle. So if you're saying, yeah, I want to have the dream home, but I'm going to wait until the kids get out of school. I'm going to wait till I've got all the money. I'm going to do it when I have more time. I'm going to, do my renovation when it's sunny out, whatever it is. Those circumstances, everything after what you want is your own choice to resisting that desire. That's
For those of you who just blocked off till 7 o'clock, we're almost done. So just stay with us a few more minutes if you can. And if not, we will upload this into the Facebook group. So we're just running a little bit longer than we thought.
Yeah, and
not
reasonably so. Right. So here's an example. This is a cool example from one of Bob's books. He talks about a couple who wanted to buy a house. They're unhappy and they asked Bob, they were asked by Bob, what's your goal? And they're like, well, we want to buy a house. And he said, go buy one. And they said, but they didn't have the money. And he's like, and this is exactly what we're saying.
He said, I didn't ask you if you had the money. I asked
right.
you what you wanted.
Yeah. And so they said they didn't have the money. And he goes, well, you don't need any money. Right? And this was the important part. He said, you didn't even make the decision to buy the house yet. So why would you need the money if you didn't even make the decision to buy the home yet? When you make the decision to buy the house, you will find the money necessary. And think about this. Everything in your life right now that you have, you wanted. And you found the way to get it. Every single thing. You can go in your closet, look at it. You wanted it. It's just that it wasn't at the level that you're thinking. You're thinking that the jeans that you bought are at a different level than the dream house, right? And the only thing that's different is your belief in your ability to achieve either one of those. So let's put it all together. This was the vision board for the home that we live in now.
Yep.
When we were manifesting, you can see, the images that we were.
Yeah, just because we just talked about decision, it's the perfect thing to say. When we were in our last house, we were kind of humming and hawing about moving. We had 2 of our teenage boys sharing a room. We had my mom move in. We'd already built 3 bedrooms in this house and renovated it, and it was a rental property just to make it work for us, okay? And we were okay doing that. But then we made the committed decision that it's now time to look for something else. But we were a little leery to give up the ocean view. So we put together a vision board. So we decided. Then we went into creation. And we put together a vision board of what would our ideal home look like now, today, because it was different. It's different now. We got mom, we got 5 kids, we've got a retreat, and we wanted seminars. We wanted to work from there. We wanted to love our home, and it needed to feel peaceful and
a place kids
all
could play
of these
and
things.
Enjoy, right?
Yeah, all of these things. So we put together this vision board with the committed decision that we were going to find something we loved. So we started then going through the motions. We had a positive attitude about it. So we started to look for opportunities on Craigslist, and we didn't know how, and we didn't know if we were going to buy it. We didn't know if we were going to rent it. We didn't know anything. We just knew we wanted it. We decided we were going after it, and that we were going to start the process of creating.
Yeah, I would just say that it sounds like we're contradicting and saying that you got to now go into action and do stuff. It was our choice that we wanted to look at this. Like, it was not a chore to do the work. Mm-hmm. We were so excited to look on Craigslist for what was out there and what's the possibility and what could happen. And then.
Yeah. So then we stumbled across this strange opportunity again for this home that was previously rented out as an Airbnb. And it had all these things, a tennis court and a pool and a hot tub and a hockey arena and this huge gym. And we're like, this is so silly and crazy. Can you imagine? Like, let's take a look at some more pictures. And we're like, oh my gosh, can you actually imagine living there? And maybe we should just go check it out. And then we see the front of the house and we take a closer look at the pictures of the property. And we're like, oh my gosh, like this is looking really similar to this house that we feel like we would love to live in. And so we asked to come and take a look at the house. And at that time, it's for rent for an indefinite period of time, maybe month to month, maybe for a year. We come to the house, we take a look, I drive to the gate for the first time without Garrett, and I can't even see through the gate, but I can feel I need to live here. It's on a dead-end cul-de-sac. I can hear water running from somewhere, and the wind is rustling through the trees, and the property is so pretty. Don't know what the house looks like. I don't care. I just feel instantly I want to be here. So my mom and I come in, we do a quick walk through, and we basically fall in love with this place. We bring Garrett. Garrett comes. Garrett falls in love with this place. Then we get the runaround for about 6 weeks. You can rent it. No, you can't rent it. Can rent it. No, you can't rent it. No, actually, we're going to sell it. Now we're going to list it. We're going to sell it. And we're like, oh, great. Like, where are we going to come up with the money for this house? And then we're like, okay, well, we're going to put our money where our mouth is. And we're going to do what Bob says. And we're going to make the decision that we're going to have this house one way or the other. So we put together an offer that is ridiculous. Right? Like, how are we even going to do this? And we put together a business plan with this offer, because if we're going to have to buy this house now, it's going to have to be an investment property. So we're running clinics out of here, retreats, seminars, workshops. We've got Airbnb in the coach house. Okay, so now we believe it. Now we have faith in the process, and we feel it. And it's, oh my gosh, so how do we go from finding something that possibly we're going to rent to we're going to buy like crazy within like 5 days? Anyway, to make a very long story short, we weren't sure we were going to get this house. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do everything I know about manifesting. I would drive from our house, our other house, drop the kids off at school, and every day, instead of going home, I drove to this house. And I sat outside with my coffee, and I imagined those gates opening, pulling into the driveway, living this house, all these things that we would do here. I pulled out of the pictures of the house that I found on MLS, and I imagined myself living in each room. And we were told, no, he's not selling it.
I drove back from work every day, came back down to the house, drove by the gate, looked at it.
Guys, they called the cops. They called the city on us because
when we finally got in it, the lady said, yeah, apparently that someone called the police in the neighborhood and said there's this white vehicle that keeps going by this house. And it happened to be Tara in her white vehicle that kept going by this house.
But I was doing it with intention. That's how much we did.
That was the intention of manifesting.
With intention that this, I know it's not available right now. They said, no, nothing. But I just felt so drawn to it, such burning desire, such a committed decision to have it. I was going to do whatever it takes. And so was Garrett. And so together it was like, we don't know. And we just like put it all out. We didn't even tell the kids, because we're just like, if it doesn't work now, where are they going to want to live after this place? But anyway, the whole point of this story is we put everything we just taught you together. We had the desire, we were committed, we made the decision, we didn't know how, we trusted that it would work, and we just kept going until she gave us the call and said, actually, yeah, we are going to rent it. You don't have to buy it, you can rent it. And we celebrated because it was the only circumstance that could actually work for our situation.
And so these now are the pictures of the house. And if you actually put them beside our vision board, it kind of cut things off a little bit.
Yeah,
but down in the bottom right corner there, that's the garage with it's actually 4-car garage, which is very similar to the one on the last picture there with 3-car garage. So, the pool, the tennis court, the yard. It's amazing how much it reflects what was in our vision board.
And you guys, the other part that's really important is we did not have the millions of dollars to purchase this house. That this house is even available is such a fluke, just like the cottage was. Mm-hmm. This is a fluke. It's an opportunity that worked for the owner because the owner was overseas and doesn't spend any time here anymore, just for the first time ever. This is the first year ever he hasn't come to live here. And it worked for us because we just wanted this place so badly and couldn't afford to buy it. But the price of the rental was even discounted so much because of COVID and because of Asian tax laws or offshore tax laws and all of that, that the situation just worked for us again in a way that we never, ever, ever could have imagined.
And that's the most important thing to remember, is that this came in a way that we would never have imagined.
So you don't have to have it all figured out, have all the money in the bank.
You don't have to have any of the money.
All of that stuff. Now you can. There's lots of
Absolutely.
people who you know could manifest and purchase this tomorrow, and maybe that will happen for us. That would be fantastic. But if it doesn't mean we don't get to live our dream life in our dream home. It worked out, and we found a way. So, yeah. I don't know. Anybody have any questions about that or anything you want to say, please do. But I don't want to keep you too much longer because I know we've
kind of gone over, but
yeah.
we figured it would get to this point. But we're enjoying ourselves talking with you guys and sharing this with you. This is the Magic Creation Box that workshop that Tara wants to.
Yeah, so I just wanted to leave you with another. So this will be
something
sort of
to do. This is crazy
the
awesome.
fifth type of thing that you can do to help you manifest your dream home. And this was a box that I created for our daughter, our 17-year-old daughter, just a couple of weeks ago. And it's called the Magic Creation Box. And it says, whatever is contained in this box is. And so for her, I put, picture of California because she's not sure. Maybe she'll go to school there or maybe just go and work. And she's always loved California. Put a picture of a white convertible. I put some college books and a graduation hat and a picture of her with her friends at her birthday. And this is a tool that you can use so that whenever you see anything that you love, anything that makes you feel amazing, whether it's pictures of your home or picture of your life, you either cut out the picture of the magazine or print it up off the computer or write it down in an affirmation or on a goal card, or you see fabric that you like or a tile or like landscaping or whatever it is, the shop at the back. You take these pictures and these images and these clippings and you put them inside your creation box. And the idea is that you're intentionally starting the manifestation process by creation, by intention, by attitude, by faith, right? And you're getting emotionally involved in this process. Every time you go through the exercises of finding these images, you're thinking. Then you're cutting it out, so you're doing. And then you're writing it out, so you're writing. And then you're talking about it and you're sharing it. And you're looking through these images all the time. So it becomes your magic box of creation. So you can go to the dollar store or to Michael's Crafts and just find a box that you're drawn to, a box that you really like. You can put a cover on it like I did, or you can just know what's to go in this box. And, take as long as you like with it. Have some fun with it.
And the thing is that when you do this, that action of you behaving in a certain way, right, starts to prime your brain and your mind to receive those things. So whenever you walk by it, whenever you think about it, whenever you brush your teeth, walk through your bed, or like whatever it is, when you see that box, it starts to wake up those networks that are related to you achieving that. So it just keeps it at the forefront of your mind. All of these tools are designed to keep your attention on what it is you want.
The other thing it does is it helps you build your faith in the process, because you'll find that you just took a clipping out of this pool, right? Or this style of house because you loved it. And then you'll look back on it and you go, oh my God, just like we did, that's the exact exterior of the house, or that's the exact pool of this place that I just saw, right? And you'll go, oh my gosh, I can't believe how similar it is. So you learn that this really works, and it encourages you to keep going. And then before you know it, I've not met anybody who hasn't had everything on a vision board, a mind movie, or in a box like this manifest. It is truly magical. And so have some fun with it. Play with it. If you don't believe it can work for the house in the beginning, try it for something smaller.
Absolutely. Practice. All right. It's time for questions if anyone has any. I think what we'll do too is if you do have questions, if you listen to the replay on this, or if you aren't here live and do listen on the replay, then just post your questions. We'll get notified and we will answer every question that comes up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's the real opportunity that we see for you. Okay. The good news is, right, you know, it's not about whether you can do all of this right now, right? It's about whether you're prepared to follow simple step-by-step instructions on how to do it. Okay, you need the right plan, you need the right system, you need the right help. Okay, so the real opportunity we see for you is we're going to book 45-minute free calls for any one of you that want to get an individualized plan to create more and to help you solve the biggest challenge in manifesting your dream home or cottage. So what we're offering here is nothing more than a call, interaction with us to help you get extremely focused on manifesting, you know, the dream home that you want. There's no charge for this. Obviously, we're doing this to, you know, just give you guys a taste of what really is possible, and to see you guys succeed in this. It's more for our, you know, it's a lot for us to see you guys, you know, achieving these things. So we're gonna book about 10 calls in the next 48 hours. So if any of you want to do that, take us up on this. This will supercharge you towards manifesting your dream house. And the people we work with, the clients we work with, that we have story after story after story of people doing this, from, you know, achieving the you know, body they've always wanted, right? To the businesses they've always wanted to create, you know, to our houses that we've created. So, you know, take us up, give us a shout, and we will do everything we can to help you.
Just write a note in the comments that you want to book your call, and we'll send you the link, and you can book at a time that's convenient for you.
Absolutely. So,
are we just exiting through there? Okay, there we go.
There we are. So that was a packed full couple hours, little over a couple hours, you know, of manifesting your dream home. If there's anything you want to know more, you want to get involved a little deeper, we are always here. Take the opportunity to apply as much of this as you can.
Nothing happens, you guys, if you don't take action.
Yeah.
So really, really kind of go through them again, and like I said, we'll repost the specifics on how this applies to you, what you can do through each section. So it's really easy to find as a little review for you.
Perfect. And that will be posted in our group.
Yeah.
Share this with others if you think others can benefit from this. You know, connect with others, have them connect with us too. This is just a means of you guys to really live that life of your dreams. We've done it, and it's amazing how much, you know, once you start to get the momentum, how much life does change. So we hope you guys enjoyed this. That's another thing. Comment about how you felt about this. If there's anything you want us to share and talk about, that always helps us too. So we're always here to serve you guys in any way we can.
And we can't wait to have you with us in person. I can't wait to get back to doing these workshops and seminars in person.
Oh, yes.
We're looking forward to that. Yeah.
Especially on the property. You know, I have everyone here, and that is our big goal. So we will share that with you. All right.
Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you so much for your time.
And we will be in touch. Take care.
Take care. Good night.
Bye.